Our last game for the evening turns out to be, I'm going to call it a much bigger deal, at least to us Michigan fans, than we expected it to be. Arkansas State is coming into number 17 Michigan, now ranked number 17 after a massive beatdown by Texas. And as I was saying before, this is one of those resetting our expectations. Arkansas State, I heard somebody say this today, that Arkansas State has to be seeing blood in the water. They probably at the beginning of the season thought this was just going to be a beatdown for them, but now they have an opportunity. Michigan is hurt. Michigan is beat up. They have an opportunity to knock Michigan completely out of the rankings.
No, stop.
No,
Stop.
Hold on.
Just stop. Stop. Okay, stop for two reasons. One,
right.
What you're saying is wildly stupid. And two, we've got 3 Buckeyes on with us right now, and they are foaming at the mouth over what you're saying right now.
Well, there's one other reason why Arkansas State's not going to have any magic. There's one other reason why Arkansas State won't have any magic against Michigan. Their head coach is Butch Jones.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, whatever. Well, with the resetting expectations, so I admit I was one of those Michigan fans that was thinking, I was very optimistic. I thought coming off of the national championship, the coaches that they were bringing up were actually assistant coaches last year. So I thought, okay, there's some continuity. The second tier players that were moving up to starters were being coached up. That apparently is not the case. My expectations have been reset. However, Lindy's, Athlon, and Phil Steele, all 3 of those magazines, had Michigan missing the Big Ten championship game, but still getting a playoff bid, but losing in the first round. So I am resetting my expectations to that. But my opinion doesn't matter. Your guys' opinion matters. What do you guys think about this game?
Matter.
Yeah, that's enough out of you. You don't get to talk anymore.
Muted.
Go ahead.
Grounded.
Mute me. Dad, you can't ground me. I'm not 25 anymore.
Let's go with Pete. Pete, what's your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, Arkansas State is going to be on the end of a beatdown. I think the Wolverines are going to come out pissed off and ticked off. And, the Red Wolves are not going to have an answer. I mean, you stole their kicker in the portal this year. I really wanted him, or the kicker from Miami, Ohio. He's clearly your best offensive weapon outside of Colson Loveland. And but that won't matter at all in this game because they're going to dominate. I mean, the Red Wolves defense is giving up 27 points per game, and they played nobody so far. It's, even though Michigan's offensive talent is quite subpar, compared to what they're used to in the big house, this is going to be bad. I think 35-6 probably. Arkansas State doesn't put up much of a fight against Michigan. But then USC comes to town.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that right now.
No, we're not talking USC. We're just talking this
We're going
week.
to pretend that's not happening.
Also, unrelated, we're not having a show next week. That's a joke. We are, maybe, for now.
Maybe, yeah. Rob, you're up. What do you got?
Man, I forgot Butch Jones was the head coach of Arkansas State. The last relevant thing he did was when Josh Dobbs bailed him out against Georgia. Then he got in one knee, and thank God for the last second win. But that's about it. And he's not going to do. His team's not going to do anything relevant against. I think after that beatdown that Michigan took Saturday. Honestly, look, I was surprised, but hats off to Sarkisian for a brilliant game plan. Not using the speed to get to the outside, not trying to get between the tackles when you have to deal with Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant. But I think Michigan bounces back against a far inferior opponent. I have them winning 35-7.
All right. Right there with Pete. All right, Garrison. What do you got?
Well, as you know, I've been
I
taking
know you
a
got
lot
that
of.
party light back there, so
Yeah.
Oh,
Do we have
yeah,
to let him go?
Yeah, listen. Well, as you guys know, I've been taking a lot of victory laps over the past few days.
Hey, man.
Over comments I have been over
Okay.
comments over
About to
comments
have an
that I've
altar
been
call on the
saying.
show.
I've been saying comments for about 4 months about your team that have all come true. Some that I've said on this show, but yeah, funny. So I had a conversation with my best friend Lawson, and we were talking about just the rest of your guys' schedule. He's a Michigan fan, and he said Arkansas State has a feel as though if they can get to 20 points, they know they're in the game. Now, do I think they're going to get to 20 points? No. Do I think your guys' offense is going to wave your magic wand? No. I think I've got you guys winning, let's call it 30-10. I think as of right now, based off these last 2 games, everyone should feel as though they can pass on the Michigan State. I'm sorry, on the Michigan secondary. Everyone should feel that way. Fresno did it. Texas called off the dogs after they could drop 50 on you. So we'll see. You'll win. By how much, I don't know, but you'll win.
all right. I'm hearing crickets. Mac, is your window open?
That has to be Mac.
Is that me?
Yeah,
I'm not hearing crickets.
it was appropriate, I think, with the crickets.
It was.
It worked. Whatever.
Oh,
Yeah, I
heard it that time.
Garrison, I unfortunately don't disagree. So, Jackson,
I do, but we'll get there.
yeah, we'll get there. Jackson, what do you got?
I'm going to say Michigan 34-7 against Arkansas State.
That's respectable. I can
All
deal
right.
with that.
Yeah. Are you resetting expectations on Michigan, or did you see Michigan doing not as well this year?
Honestly, I had Michigan coming up short of the playoffs this season. I'm sorry to say, gents, but it's just I had this feeling they were going to be coming up short of going back to the playoffs, but I think they'll be fine in the long run. I don't think I'd panic. But if Michigan is not doing so high against Arkansas State like Bama wasn't doing so high against South Florida last year, then it's time to worry.
Yeah. I actually was talking to my buddy at church Sunday and asking him how he felt about the Texas game. And he said for him, it wasn't all that big of a deal. He actually, and he's a huge Michigan fan, season tickets. He even goes to the games. He doesn't have tickets. If he gives the tickets away, he still goes to the game because he'll tailgate. He's one of those kind of guys. He's always there. He said he thought Michigan was going to go 6-6 this year. So he wasn't really worried about the Texas loss. We're not friends anymore, but
Removed him from Facebook.
no, I'm kidding. No, he's a great guy. He's actually really smart. I wish he would do YouTube. I would get him on the show because he's a really smart guy. But it's going to be a rough season. All right, Mac, lay it on us.
I don't even really know if I want to be your son anymore. Holy crap. I can't even with you people. Yeah, I mean, obviously Michigan's going to win this game. But Davis Warren said, and we talked about this for the...
Yeah,
I haven't even said anything.
Garrison just laughs at the name of mention of Davis Warren. Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mac.
No, you're not. Anyway, we talked about this for the video we did for Voice of College Football, which will be live tomorrow morning, 9:00. Subscribe to them. Davis Warren said during his press conference that Michigan has the talent to beat a team like Texas. And I don't think he's right, but I don't think he's as wrong as Garrison thinks he is. I think that I can't finish freaking thought.
Did you guys let them win or not?
No, we didn't let them win. They were so much better than Michigan was. Holy crap, they were better.
Oh, I gotta mute myself, Mac.
The problem with what Michigan did on Saturday was the fact that the offensive line was not gelling and the play calling was not leaning into that. You saw Davis Warren start to make passes in that fourth quarter. Yeah, Texas was absolutely calling off the dogs. Texas took a break in that fourth quarter for sure. I will grant you that. Texas outmatched Michigan, outcoached Michigan. There was nothing that Michigan could do that would have put Michigan back into that game. If Michigan had a better game plan coming into the game, maybe it's a closer game, but Texas still clears. The thing is that Michigan does have talent. Michigan does have really good coaches. Michigan doesn't have the talent necessary to beat a team like Texas, probably not a team like Ohio State right now, but a team that's struggling like Oregon. If they figure a couple of things out, maybe they give USC a run for their money, especially if they can use this Arkansas State game to get Davis Warren a few more reps throwing the ball around. My thing is this. Every team is going to stack the box against Michigan for the rest of the season. If Michigan doesn't have a running game, then you've not just stopped their primary mode of attack. You have completely stripped them of their entire identity. Michigan is running the football. That's what they do. That's who they are. If you take that away from them and Michigan doesn't know who they are, then no, of course they're not going to win. So for this game, what I want to see is Davis Warren throwing the ball a lot. I want him to get better at it so that when he does it in a game that matters, not that this one doesn't matter, but like when he does it against USC, when he does it against Oregon, those teams are going to look at him and be like, okay, he's not the world's best passer. Maybe he's 2021 Cade McNamara, but it's at least good enough to get them to back out of the box a little bit so that Michigan can set up the running game. If that happens, it's a completely different season. I think Michigan still has a ceiling of somewhere around 9-3. Maybe if we're lucky, 10-2 with an upset somewhere. But if Michigan can't do that, then yeah, 7-5, 6-6. And honestly, however it shakes out, I don't care. We just won a natty. We've got a really good recruiting class coming in. Sharon Moore has proven himself as an offensive coordinator. I'm good, man. I'm good.
Did you give a pick?
Also 45-6, Michigan.
45-6. All right.
Can I just collect a receipt real quick, because I'm pretty sure that on the last I think it was when Peter and I were the only ones on here, I made the claim that Donovan Edwards was not RB1. He will never be RB1, and that is completely true.
Absolutely true. Yeah.
And you know what? I saw that during the TCU game when Corum was out. Other than a long run at the beginning of the game when the hole is like wide open, you can drive a truck through, he was getting like 1 or 2 yards per carry. Then Mullings was put in. So I tried to tell all Michigan fans, but they said no. They thought I was a madman. So
Rob, don't forget, before those 2 runs against Ohio State, he was averaging 2.1.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, you're both absolutely right. The Donovan Edwards conundrum is something that is going to bother me probably for the rest of my life. The fact that the guy can be absolutely absent during whatever games and then show up and show out against Ohio State is something I will never understand that. I've said before that he's kind of the all or nothing back. And coming into this season, yeah, I thought he was going to have a breakout season because he kind of had like this mental shift that he was working on. He was trying to be more patient in his running. It's not happening. He's not running back 1. He should be a slot receiver. Honestly, if Michigan wanted to use him in some sort of a proper way, he should be a slot receiver because he's got some speed. He's got some moves. But Mullings should be RB1 and Benjamin Hall should be running back 2.
I think Edwards is going to make his money in the pros. I mean, yes, he's going to be drafted. He's too good of an athlete. I think he's going to make his money in the pros as a third down back who catches passes out of the backfield.
Exactly. Yes.
I do want to give him credit, though. I do want to give Donovan Edwards credit because a few months ago, I said, I expect him to have a good year because there's no way he can do worse than last year. He proved me wrong.
Hey. Wow.
Oh, man.
Kirk Campbell's got to get creative with the offensive identity. He's got to scheme some people open. I mean, right now, the only routes that Morris and Morgan are reliable on are cross routes. Like you said, Mac, you got to put Edwards somewhere else, and you got to think outside the box. You have to scheme people open and scheme your way down the field, because right now it seems the offensive talent just is not present. And so, and then defensively, man, you got to clean up those missed tackles. Yeah. Mason Graham, they moved him all over the defensive line. I don't know what they were thinking with that concept versus Texas. You just Texas completely removed him from the game plan.
It was the 3rd and 5, bring in Orji to run it up the middle to lose 2 yards that they did multiple times that I was beginning to think was on purpose. And I didn't understand that at all.
Yeah. And you know, here's the thing also about Alex Orji. So I think fans really loved him because he came in a couple of times against Ohio State. He did pretty well running the ball, and you know, doing good against, you know, obviously, you know, one of the biggest rivals, Michigan's biggest rivals, can blind you from the biggest picture. And you know, I'm not surprised that Alex Orji is not the starter, but a lot of other Michigan fans were blinded by those couple runs that had against Ohio State. That was a pretty big contribution to their win. So, I mean, I guess I was right about Alex Orji too. So it just seemed like he was kind of a distraction against Fresno State. Like he was standing on the sideline by the coach and just like, okay, are they going to put him in? And when they did put him in, it was so obvious that they were going to have him run.
Yeah. My thing with Alex Orji is I don't understand. Like I thought he was going to be the starter, and I thought it was because Michigan was going to shift towards more of an RPO style offense. And it feels like they tried that out a little bit during camp and then totally backed away from it, probably because his completion percentage was just that crappy during fall camp. I mean, if you can't pass,
the P part, exactly.
Yeah, you got to, you know, if you can't pass, then you've literally lost 1/3 of your offense. So yeah, I don't know. That was my thing with Alex Orji, though. At least the guy gave you options, and maybe if Davis Warren can end up being 2021 Cade McNamara, then things end up maybe a little bit different. But I don't know. I still have Michigan with a ceiling of maybe 9-3.
So instead of check down Cade, it's going to be check down Warren. Got it.
Yes.
Oh man, I don't think Michigan Nation's happy with their AD Warde Manuel. I don't think they.
I think Warde Manuel is the glue. This is what I took a complete 180 on Warde Manuel. I think he's the glue at Michigan right now. I think he is. Think about all of it, because I don't know if you guys know this, but take away the football aspect of it. You got a basketball coach and a team that can't keep their hands off other people. You got I'm not gonna get into depth about the hockey program. Like he's had to deal with a lot, man, and I don't know a lot of ADs that could deal with all that and keep a cool head.
I saw it
hires too.
Dusty May. He hired Dusty May. I mean, so far that's turned out to be a pretty awesome hire. I saw an interview he did with Sam Webb from the Michigan Insider not too long ago, where he kind of went behind the scenes and talked about all of the stuff that's been going on and how he's trying to hold it all together. And I mean, it's one of those things, like, from the outside looking in, we are privy to maybe 5% of the information that is actually going on. So you have no idea behind the scenes. Like, everybody's saying, oh, you know, fire Warde Manuel because he couldn't keep Harbaugh at Michigan. Well, it's pretty clear Harbaugh wanted to go win a Super Bowl. So even there, that's pretty obvious. But also, like, you don't know what the negotiations were. You don't know what they were talking about. And he even said, look, I want to go win a Super Bowl. At some point, I'm going to go try and do that. And Warde Manuel supported him. So whatever, we know that now. But you can't try and form an opinion about something that you don't know anything about. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
No.
Sam Hartman's looking downfield for Adrian.
Carter almost has a one-handed catch.
Almost.